Hello, fellow coaches. How are you? I was just sleepy about 10 minutes ago, but it's showtime. Gotta wake up, gotta wake up. So hopefully you're up with me. Sia told me today she watches the replay because I'm up too late for her. Listen, I almost didn't make it today because I was tired. I have had a very busy day. Extremely productive. So if you follow my stories, you know I just de-leafed an aloe vera leaf and my sleeve is still wet. Sia, I just said you said I'm up too late for you. And I almost didn't make it because your coach is tired, okay? I just finished putting aloe vera on my skin, breaking down a plant so my hands are really soft and you know, like when you're in the tub too long, they get kind of wrinkly and mushy. That's how it feels. But I'm glad I got that done. It takes a lot of work to get the juice and the flesh out of an aloe vera plant. But I ain't here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about my very busy day and what led me to tonight's topic, which was Sia, who said, "Oh, that's a topic." So I wanted to talk. It's serious, but y'all, I can't help but smile. I'm going to say something that's guaranteed to make you giggle. So this is a topic that I'm not making light of. And I want to address some things from my heart, and I invite conversation, you know, put some comments below if you can relate. So Sia and I had a very deep conversation, of course. I guess that's part 2, right, Sia? It got me thinking about the calls that I've been getting for the last 5, 6, maybe 7 years of me being a coach. And I've been a coach for 7 years, but I get the calls like, AJ, I paid $15,000 for this coaching program, but ... And it's either they don't feel like they got what they paid for, or they felt like it was a lot of hype around selling the program to get them in the room, or it was the money was taken and the coach disappeared, or they found out behind the scenes. You know how they say never meet your idol, because it's just not what you're going to expect it to be. Now, I don't believe that about Barack Obama, because when I meet him, I think we can have a conversation and he'll be beyond my expectations, okay? But I have met a local celebrity crush, and I was like, oh, I'm over it. Like, in that moment. And he wasn't a bad person. I was just over it in that moment. So anyway, I say that because behind these crushes, these social media crushes, you know, let me just give a scenario of people who follow a lot of coaches. Hey, Cassandra. And you see them, you know, posting wheels up type of social media posts, you know, bragging about flying around the world. They're doing Facebook Lives in an airport. They're showing you their red bottom shoes. They're getting out of private jets, drinking champagnes. Everybody had the pink flamingo in the pool last year. Everybody's doing these white desk shots where all of the office furniture is white, but you don't know that ain't their house. You know, they're paying for $1,000 and $2,000 photo shoots just for the gram. And people literally buy into that. And at the end of the day, it leads to what Sia and I coined today was coach hurt. I said it's just like church hurt. You know, when you go to church, you get saved, you expect your life to change and be glamorous because they say Jesus changes things, but he does. And that happens to come through humans, flesh, people. And they let you down. They disappoint you. They say something to hurt your feelings. They don't meet your expectations. And now you mad at Jesus and the church. We call that church hurt. It's a lot deeper than that. But again, I ain't going to get too serious to where I'm crying or nothing on the live. So if you've been a part of my tribe long enough, you know this is who I am. Hey, Sabrina Chantel, how are you? So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Andrika J. Austin. I go by Coach AJ. I am a master life coach certification trainer. Some of my coaches, like Sia Knight, is on here with me. And we have lately been getting into some serious topics. Lately means in the last 24 hours. We've talked about money and how to have that conversation. And today, the conversation of coach hurt came up. And so, let me show y'all what I've been doing with my time today. Bam. See, you see this? This is a book that I literally wrote over the last week. It's 156 pages. It's called The Life Coach. This is my company, the certification brand that brands the certificates that my coaches get when they go through my one-day life coach certification training. The reason I did this training, the reason it's 156 pages, the reason Paige, my new girl at Office Max, she called me like, AJ, I got it ready for you. So I did a U-turn out of my neighborhood because I was just coming home. She told me it was ready. I went to get it. It cost almost $60 to get all this printed and bound and everything else that I did there today. But I'm so happy I'm holding it in my hands because this is me. I edited the transcripts of a 3-hour training I did for people who don't know how to set their expectations of a coach. And so I'm walking you through what a coach is, what a coach does, what a coach does not do, so you can stop falling for the okie doke. You want a copy? If you want a copy, let me see some hearts, some likes, some thumbs up, some emojis, some me in the comments below. Okay, I'm going to bring this back. Let me go ahead and put the link so I don't forget. Tell you where you can get your copy. And guess what? The program is usually $97. I say usually. It's been out a week. It's usually $97. Or is it $197? I don't know. But tonight it is 50% off. I know that. So in celebration of me making the first investment in my course, in purchasing my own book, I want to give you that opportunity to do that too. Because if you've ever been curious as to what to look for specifically in a coach, it's in this book, which you get a free copy of all 156 pages. It's an ebook format. You don't want to have to go print it. It's a lot to print it on pretty paper and get it bound like me. But it's the transcript of me walking you through the breakdown and the definition of what a coach is, especially a life coach. Because when you know what to expect, you stop falling for the okie doke. You stop giving people thousands and thousands of your dollars. You stop investing time on these weekend retreats and going to these events and seminars and walking away disappointed. And so it's easy for your expectations to not be met from coaches you see online, leading to coach hurt when you've never set an expectation of a coach. Think about that. So one thing I will say that I noticed in the coaching industry lately is there are other coaches doing trainings. There are other places, quote unquote, certifying coaches. I'm not the only one online that's doing it. I'm not the only one doing it in one day, but guess what? Most of the people that I've seen who offer a life coach certification or an event where they show you the glitz and glam of being $1 million coach, these are people who went to someone else's event for a day or two or maybe 3, and then they came home and started teaching what that person just taught them. They put their own spin on it. They may write a quick ebook. They may record a few classes, and they're going to start charging you these thousands of dollars. That's why you get let down. Your expectations are not met because, number one, these are people who are teaching what they just learned. That's called theory. That means it has not been put into practice. It's a thought like, oh, this sounds good, so I'm going to teach on it. Not, I'm going to go try it and then let you know what works and what doesn't. So you get the unfortunate event of trying this information that they're trying out on you, got your money, and now you hurt because it didn't work. Well, guess what? Most of the time it didn't work for them either because they didn't go and put it into action. Then there are the coaches who are, again, just teaching stuff off the top of their head, stuff they've heard other people say, misinformation from the internet. Maybe they picked up a book and read the first 2 chapters. And again, they're teaching it to you. They're taking your money. That leads to church hurt. Now, let me tell you where me and the International Center for Life Coach Training comes in. The Life Coach Revisited, 156 pages of my words. So I've been a certified life coach for 7 years. The last 4 years, I've been training and certifying life coaches. So that means that I had 3 years to go put this information into practice, bump my head, bust my butt, learn some lessons, struggle. I mean, struggle, like food bank, food stamp struggle. And I've also had the chance to have success, 50,000, 100,000 and beyond. But I also learned some lessons in between all of that I call the struggle to success. so I can document my journey. And that's what I do in all 156 pages. Now, this is just the pre-training. This ain't a life coach certification process. This is just the pre-training before you come train with me. So if I'm giving you 3 hours of content, my personal stories and experience, yes, books I've read, yes, experience, yes, testimonials of my clients. I have 13 pages, 72 testimonials. They're not all in this book, but I tell you some of them in the program. This is the transcript of me teaching from what I know for sure. Like Mama O says, what do you know for sure? What I know for sure is when you learn something in the coaching industry, you must go try it for yourself. When you come back and teach someone else, it has to be from a place of experience. You cannot coach or teach from something you haven't been through and be effective and or relatable. If you try to do that, that's where the church hurt. The coach hurt comes in, because it's speaking from theory. That's the difference between going through a certification class, which is more hands-on, practical coaching experience, versus going to get a degree in coaching. Now, I don't speak against getting a degree. I'm getting a master's in life coaching, but it's because I'm a nerd. I want to learn the theory. So a college degree in coaching equals theory. It equals textbooks, assignments, essays, a thesis. And I talk about that in the Life Coach Revisited. I put the link below. It's over at courses.thebossof.me. You'll see it pop up there. And when you do, if you put in the code BOSS2020, it's going to give you 50% off of whatever price that this book is right now. And then it's not just a book, it's a course. This is actually the transcript of that course. So it's a 3-hour course. It's 4 parts, and I talk all things. I tell you the history behind my company and why I'm so passionate about training coaches, because I don't like the miseducation of coaches. I don't like getting the phone calls full of tears. Like, AJ, I thought I could trust this coach because I watched her Facebook lives, or I went to her event, or people are singing her praises, or I always see her travel and speak. And I say her because that's who we deal with. We're women. We like pretty stuff. So if you show up in some nice red bottom shoes, a beautiful dress, and a nice weave, we gonna believe that you're successful. We like pretty things. If you convince us to come pay you $5,000 to go on a retreat with you for a weekend, we're going to believe that we're going to leave looking just like you and in coach stardom just like you. But my job is the complete opposite of that. I ain't doing no $5,000 retreat no time soon. And when I do, trust and believe it's going to take more than 156 pages to fill a book. Okay. So I'm not a flashy coach. I don't talk about my money. I don't talk about anything that does not have to do with how you can use my mistakes, the lessons that I've learned, how you can step over that puddle and keep going on your journey to success as a coach. But I share my stories. I share the struggle to success because it's not easy. So anytime you see this process looking easy, don't let it fool you. Today, my workday looked like a lot of Facebook Lives. I did that on purpose to show behind the scenes, daily work sessions. That's just one day, y'all, of writing emails, making phone calls. I still have literally a list of 100 people I still have to call. These are coaches that I've trained from all over the world. I call them one by one. And I talk to them. What do you need? How can I support you? So it's beyond just giving me your money and me running away. Where am I going to go? I ain't going nowhere. So I wanted to bring up coach hurt, because a lot of people have been hurt by coaches. And lately I've been meeting people who have come to my training, get certified with me during that 1-day process. And they say, AJ, I came to you because number one, it's just something about you. I'm like, I know, girl, it's that Holy Spirit. Okay. I know who I am. That's why I say I ain't going nowhere, because I can't run from Jesus. And I do right by my people and by myself. Okay. Number 2, I really care about your success as a coach. I have studied this. I don't want to see you hurt. And the fact that you trust me enough to invest your time and your money with me means that I need to know my stuff. I can't guess. I can't make this up. And I cannot copy and paste what somebody else is out there trying to do in the life coach industry. So I'm proud to say that I am the largest online live stream life coach certification company owned by a Black woman. With a training and development degree, I specialize in adult learning. That means I make sure that you get the information. I ask, what questions do you have? Ask me a question, because that's challenging me to help you learn better. I specialize in adult learning. So degree, 7-year coach, 4-year training, over 115 coaches around the world. Some of them are here with us live tonight. Also, this is not theory. I can show you about 150 books that's sitting on my dresser right now. Some are on the topic of coaching, some are on marketing and sales, but I have read them. I don't just make this up. I live this. So when you see me online designing a flyer on Canva and showing you how to do it, how to design an email campaign, how to design your YouTube banner, this is me practicing what I know it takes to sustain a successful company and to scale a successful coaching company. Not me on here trying to look cute. Y'all ain't gonna never see Coach AJ with no weave. I don't look right with hair. Y'all wouldn't even recognize me with hair. You don't see me with fake eyelashes because my lashes are long enough. Y'all see them lashes, girl. Never no nails. I ain't had nails in years. The last pair I had, I bit them off. I ain't speaking against no artificial nothing. If that's you, do you, boo. However, I will never sell a fake lifestyle. I will never sell anything that's not me, and then I'm trying to teach you how to be an authentic coach. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what leads to coach hurt. That's what lead to the industry being looked at as, is that a real job? Is coaching even a real thing? Ain't it saturated? Everybody a coach. Oh Lord, here come another coach. That's because the trust is not there. It's been broken. You have been let down. Your feelings have been hurt. You have been disappointed. You may have even just shut down like, I don't even want to hear it. And then sweet old baby Jesus just dropped me in your dream, in your spirit. Camille told me he just dropped me in her spirit one day out the blue, and those of you who maybe you've been away, and I really feel like this is a call to salvation. Like when you leave church, you ain't even out backsliding per se, but you just walked away because you're tired of the okie doke. Some of you guys have done that in the coaching industry because you've been hurt. But I want to commend the coaches who I have had conversations with lately who say, AJ, I don't want to be that coach who is hurting people, who is not in integrity. I want to come get trained. I want to be skilled. I want to be professionally qualified because I'm messing with someone's life. If I'm going to call myself a life coach, I need to have the experience behind it and the qualifications behind it. And yes, a life coach training and certification class considers as a qualification as a coach. It shows this piece of paper here. I always brag on my girls. These are 5 ladies who have trained with me this year so far. We got a class coming up on Saturday. But Camille Wesley, she was the first one to say yes in 2020. AJ trained me. And you get your name on a piece of paper. You get that certificate showing that you invested your time, your money with someone that you can trust. But let me tell you what to look out for. Ask questions. And I talk about this. I wish I knew exactly where that was in this book. Because again, 156 pages. I'll find it. But what I know for sure is it's okay to ask questions. My coaches literally asked me yesterday, AJ, how much money you make? I said, let's talk, because that's my type of questions. We can break it down by quarter, by month, by salary, because all of this is getting you out of a mindset of corporate, 9 to 5, hourly pay, annual salaries, and it's getting you into the idea that you can do this. You can be successful, and you don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to stay hurt. You don't have to, walk around mad at the world because someone took your money. And it has been story after story this year of people telling me that, AJ, I spent so much money with this last coach and I did not get what I wanted. The next question usually is, so what can you do for me, AJ? I got $500. And it's usually like, nothing. You can go buy some books on courses.thebossof.me. But if you are in the healing process, if you're like, you know what, I'm not going to give up because I know God called me to help people, to serve, to coach, to share who I am, what I've been through, and help others get their breakthrough. If you're on that healing journey, I would love to have you in the class on Saturday if you want to join me. I would love to have you over at courses.thebossof.me. Get your hands on resources from experienced professionals who are living this thing. We ain't just talking about it. We ain't on social media all day, every day, just talking about it. No. Look at the results. The Bible says you shall know them by their fruit. What fruit are they producing? Who is singing their praises? Where are their testimonials? Where are their qualifications? Where is that money conversation? Where's the honesty, the transparency? Where's the question and answer sessions with them one-on-one where you really can see their heart? Have you ever considered having a conversation like that with a coach before you invest $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, ... And then you're going to pay that much and you still going to get thrown into a group coaching program. So you still sometimes don't get that one-on-one undivided attention. Now, this live was not to say I'm better than anybody. Although I know who I am. Y'all, my phone is falling. So I'm trying to set it back up. But I want you to check receipts, as Sade Adu says. Check those receipts, ask questions, get feedback, talk to some of the people who have been to these events before you invest. My coaches are on standby. Like, please ask me about AJ. I should make y'all some shirts here. Ask me about AJ. Because how I show up on lives, how I show up in trainings like this, giving you information like this. I go read the books for you. I go to the events for you. I break down the details for you. There are people that are bragging that, oh no, I've never been certified, but my life qualifies me. No, your life doesn't qualify you to coach other people. I'm sorry, it does not. Your skills as a coach is what qualifies you to certify or to coach other people. But if you've never been certified, and this is stepping on somebody's toes, and you feel free to go ahead and hit end broadcast or leave or just scroll off, make my video go away. But it's not okay to play with somebody's life. It's not okay to guess as a coach. It's not okay to walk around calling yourself a coach and you have not invested in learning the coaching industry. I must say that because, again, you messing with someone's life. Now think about that. Would you want someone who is unskilled? That's like somebody not washing their hands before they cook for you. Would you want that in your life? And then they come try to prophesy and lay hands on you. Would you want some unclean hands on your life? I wouldn't. So I'm going to speak for me. Maybe you don't care, but I care. Go wash your hands. Don't fix my plate. I got it. Coronavirus is going around. And I'm good. So, I'm being real. Y'all laughing. I'm being real. I had to switch to my tripod. Let me move closer. And so, I say that because you got to be careful. Coaches can get sued. We can get sued for malpractice. Y'all don't know that, though, because you ain't studied the industry. We can get sued for doing these big events and having 1 million people, and it's uninsured. We can get sued for the same stuff that doctors and lawyers and teachers and everybody else can get sued for. I really wish my phone would act right. This is just ludicrous. So you need to invest in being educated. One thing that, and I remember the very first coach I had, I call her my $1 million mentor because she did not play honey. She said, what pisses you off? I'm like, what you mean? That's a weird question. She said, what is it that just drives you crazy that you want to help people around? And I said, you know what? I would love for everyone to have the opportunity to be educated in whatever it is they choose to do. So my thing has always been education. Go read a book. Go take a class. Go listen to a podcast. Go watch a YouTube video. And I've been able to formulate putting that in the coaching arena. We have access to resources. There's a man named Thomas J. Leonard who is considered the father and the founder of life coaching. If you're getting into life coaching, study who you're studying under. Go read his books. They're phenomenal. Look at what you're getting into so that you know what you're getting into. Don't sign up for a class like life coach certification and you getting in asking, well, what's a life coach? I'm going to need you to know what you're getting into because it's a ministry. It is a spiritual process. It's a spiritual heart-to-heart connection. This is a heart-centered business, and you deal with humans, you deal with spirits, you deal with mindsets. You got to be prayed up and covered for a lot of this. It's not easy. It's not all pretty. And there are predators in the industry who will take your money. People who look just like me and you. So you got to know what you're getting into and know who you can trust, but you can only know who to trust if you've done your research, if you've done your homework, if you've talked to people who are in their circle. For example, if you see a coach hosting an event, go look at their friends list on Facebook, on Instagram. That's when you jump in the DM like, hey girl, I see you going to so-and-so, or I see you connected to so-and-so. How was the event last year? What did you learn specifically? What was your takeaway? I saw them numbers drop when I got real. So thank you, Lord, for removing. I just need people with the ears to hear to get this. This is serious. There is a thing considered coach hurt. Some people don't even know they've been hurt by coaches. They just know they broke now and they didn't get the results they were promised. So this can go either way. You can either go and study the coaches that you study under, or you can be one of those coaches who study, who does the work. The Bible says to study to show thyself approved. That means that instead of scrolling on another coach's page, you need to be listening to a podcast, watching a YouTube video, maybe even recording your own, but we ain't gonna go there. You maybe need to pick up a book or read a blog post about the latest statistics for life coaching, where the income is going, where the government regulations are gonna pop in, how life insurance affects us, what it means to be an LLC, an INC, a LP, what it means to be covered as a coach, general liability insurance, not just how to make money as a coach, where to find clients, and how to look famous on social media. So this topic is very deep. It can go so many ways. And I know there are people who have dealt with it. Now, I don't need to hear your stories. Don't inbox me like, girl, let me tell you about Coach so-and-so. I don't gossip about nobody. But if you, again, are on the healing path, we can definitely have a conversation. I invite those type of inbox messages like, hey, when's your next training? I would love to learn under you. You look like you know what you're talking about. You show up and it sounds like you know what you're talking about. Matter of fact, I talked to a couple of your coaches that you certified and they do nothing but sing your praises. Here's my credit card number. Matter of fact, I've paid online already. What materials do I need before we get started? Those are the type of conversations that I invite in my inbox. And as you register for the one-day life coach certification training, and if you want to know my style, it's just like this. And it's just like this. I'm going to share everything. I got everything that I know in the time that we have. Before we get together, you're going to learn. You're definitely going to learn why we spend that 1 day and 8 hours together. And you most definitely going to keep learning because I have continued education and support options available for my coaches. So again, I ain't going nowhere. Me in this country accent, we're going to be rich here, okay? So I want to, on behalf of the life coaches everywhere, those of us who do study the industry, we take our time, we learn from the masters of this industry. We've mastered certain parts because I'm technically a master life coach certification trainer. I've trained over 115 coaches from around the world. And if you called any of them right now, they'll have a full conversation about my 1 day life coach certification training. That's called social proof. That is the proof in the pudding that shows who I am and what I do. But it's not to brag on me. It's to say, if you choose to study with me, study under me, be prepared to really do the work, because it's not just about knowing a lot of stuff. It's about putting that information into action and showing up for the people who need you. So at some point as a coach, you know, we advise to partner with counselors. Even if you got to go to counseling yourself, go talk that thing out. I've had to do that before, you know, and then I found myself coaching my counselor and I knew it was time. I was delivered with a T. So if you got to go talk to somebody to get over how much ever money you spent with whatever coach that let you down, and then you're on the path to healing saying, I want to now be that coach who studies to show myself approved, who now has a lot of fruit because you've invested time in learning and studying with the right people, then I welcome you into my tribe. Are there any questions? I've been talking, my throat dry. Y'all on here with the emojis tonight. I appreciate y'all. Hey, Janice and Sabrina. Hey, Bathsheba, Desiree, Lynn, Lakeisha. What's my background? Girl, go to the bossof.me if you want like the deal. If you want like all of me, you want like the 30-second version, you gotta tell me how long to talk so I can cut it off. Because I talked about that a little bit, Lakeisha. I ain't being funny. Hold on, I gotta catch my breath, girl. So, I'm gonna give you like the 180-second version, okay? So my mom died on the same day that my divorce became final. I literally walked out of the courthouse, got on the elevator, and got the phone call that my mom had just passed away. So I came back home, handled her affairs, took over her home, her bank accounts, her cars. I have 2 younger brothers. One is serving 2 life sentences in prison. That's 2 life sentences. He's been there over 20-something years. I have a baby brother. He has about 5 kids now. It's like when mom died, he lost his mind. And now I have a lot of great nieces and nephews. And so the weight of the world falls on me. I'm the only girl and the oldest of 3. So that meant that my mom's weight fell on me. She passed away at 47 years old. She was a 13-year entrepreneur. My dad and my 2 grandfathers were as well. So entrepreneurship is in my blood. A few days after my mom passed and I moved back home and took over her affairs, my corporate job downsized and told me, we want you to come back, but ain't nothing to come back to. So that left me with a mortgage, a 2-level, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-garage home, an acre of land to cut by myself with a push lawnmower, and me. So I had nothing but time on my hands. And that's when I said, you know what? I remember when I used to sit in my corporate cubicle and I used to sneak online. My supervisor comes on here sometimes. Her name is Centrice Mitchell. So Centrice, if you watching this replay, I'm telling the story, girl. So I used to sneak under my desk in my cubicle and be on my laptop looking for networking events and entrepreneur after hours events because I wanted to work for myself. I just did not like it being dark when I went in and getting dark when I got off. So here I was in this big old house with nothing but time on my hands, getting unemployment and working with the money that I already had. My job also took up a collection plate for me too, because we had a lot of deaths in my family around the same time my mom passed. And so I had time. I sat with God. I prayed. I wrote 15 books. I networked and I became a pro in my industry. I started speaking and traveling. I got certified as a life coach thanks to a girlfriend of mine who literally paid my way. And then I paid her back and it took off from there. So I got certified in a 2-day training. I stayed connected with that training company. They made me an offer a week after I graduated. That was something else I did because I had time on my hand. I finished my bachelor's in training and development at Mercer University, class of 2016. So I'm a baby. And a week later, I got the offer to partner with the multi-million-dollar ministry who certified me. So I spent the last 4 years certifying coaches who would fly in here to Atlanta to get trained and hang out with me for a day. And then they went back to their countries, you know, Australia, Malaysia, Kenya, Africa, the Bahamas, Vietnam, and all over North America. And so recently, the end of December, that partnership wrapped up. I launched this company called the International Center for Life Coach Training. It's an online platform on Zoom where I train and certify life coaches in one day because that's what I spent the last 4 years doing. And I use my experience from being a coach because I've tried everything. You name it, I've done it as a coach. I share my stories of struggle and success with new life coaches. I write books about it. So I have way more books. I have over 203 audio programs for new coaches, women in business, those of y'all who trying to leave corporate America, or maybe you don't have a choice. That choice is made for you like mine was. And you're ready to see how to have a plan B, which is really your plan A, because you really want to, like me, work for yourself. And so when that time shows up, I'm here with those resources. So that's been my goal and dream all along, was to create a knowledge library of resources for women in business. It just happens to be coaching. I'm a professional trainer by skill and trade. I just happen to train life coaches. So that's what sets me apart in the life coaching industry. My story, my experience, what I share, my transparency, because Sia can tell you we can talk about anything. And also what works and what doesn't. And so one thing I don't do is compare myself to anybody, because there's not another AJ. It's the reason 7 of y'all are on here with me at 12:41 a.m. Eastern, listening to me talk about Coach Hurt and asking me about my experience. I am saved all my life since 6 years old. I am that golden child of my family that'll pray with anybody and talk about Jesus after my trainings. And it's going to come out through my trainings as well. So you ain't got to be saved to take my trainings. You don't have to be a woman to take my trainings, but just know that that's who I show up as. A saved Black woman who is extremely smart and will tell you everything I know. And as long as you're there to learn and gain knowledge, ask questions and grow as a coach, I share. And I ask you to ask me questions. So with that said, what other questions do you guys have? Any other questions for me? Again, this is a deep topic. I am a very optimistic and positive person. That's what the O in this abbreviation of coach stands for, optimistic, because you got to keep your head on straight. Stay positive. Now, you're not always going to be happy, but you always have to look on the bright side, okay? Just like I was just sleepy 30 minutes ago, but I said it's 12 o'clock. It's showtime. Let me get on here. Somebody needs to hear this word tonight, on tonight. And so I jumped on, and as soon as the camera went live, it's like something in me woke up. So here I am, can see now. The redness is semi-gone out of my eyes, but I'm happy to have positive conversations about the coaching industry with those of you who have been hurt, but you're on that healing path. Because that was my prayer today. Lord, I don't want no hurt people now. Don't come, feeling like you damaged goods and somebody did you wrong and you just want to complain about it. No, let's take that pain and put it in a book. Tell people 10 things to avoid when looking for a life coach. Tell people what to look for when they attend coaching events. Tell people what I just shared with you. Go talk to people who've been to these events. You ain't got to put out a scam alert or put people on page 6. Go turn that pain into profit. Put it into purpose. That's the type of coach I am. So everything I just shared with you is who I am. This is who I've always been. And again, I'm not that flashy, weave wearing, fake eyelashes, fake nails, booty injections, Botox type of coach. There are lots of those out there. They're beautiful. I have nothing negative to say about that. You do what you want to do with your body and your life. But this is Coach AJ. So if y'all waiting on me to get skinny and change skin tones and grow hair and come on here looking like a whole nother person, it ain't gonna happen. So again, you're welcome to leave this live at any time. But this is how I show up as a coach. And I knew that when I walked in my life coach certification training. My coach said, AJ, on a scale of 1 to 10 after this 2-day training with me, what do you give yourself? I said a 10. I was a 10 when I walked in the door. I just needed that piece of paper that gave me permission to go out and coach and make a difference in the world, a difference in clients' lives. And that's what I've been doing. And he said, you are going to do some great things. And he's the same man that offered me that multi-million-dollar partnership. So I use my experience from helping him grow his coaching company and his brand. And now I do the same thing for me. So I've been building a personal brand online since 2009 when I got my Facebook page. And 1,300 of y'all came and liked my Journey Girl Facebook page. I was a teen life coach first. And then my company took off. People got wind of what I was doing here in Atlanta. They started to call and ask me to franchise my brand. And instead of doing that, I started coaching women on how to start their own brands. And that's how I got into business coaching. I've been a book coach, and now a master life coach trainer. So it's similar worlds, but different skills, and I have them all. And so I'm phenomenal. I am a wonderful person. You will come to find that out if you join me here on my late night lives more. But one thing I do is give. One of my coaches, Arnesia, the other day, she said, AJ, that's one thing about you. Every time I talk to you, I feel like I can go do anything because I'll motivate you. I'll uplift you. I'll remind you of who you are and who you say God told you are. Because a lot of y'all come to me saying, well, God told me years ago, and I knew I wanted to write a book, and I knew I wanted to help people. I knew I wanted to be a coach. I just ... And I'll remind you when times get hard and you lose that motivation and momentum. I'm in your inbox or on your phone. I will call you in the middle of the day like, what you working on? What do you need from me? How can I help? What resources do you need? Because that's what it's about for me, bringing others with me. Let's be successful together. We don't have to knock each other down. We don't have to break each other apart. We all wearing crowns up in here. I just got mine first. Let me help you get yours, So that's how I look at the life coaching industry. It's not, for me, it's not what I see being taught. It's a completely different experience of who you are. And so when you start as your own client, you're able to help more people. And when you use that as your foundation, that's when you become a catalyst for change in your community, in your client's life, in the coaching industry. Any other questions? Hey, Tangi Jones, how are you? Any other questions? Hey, Lynn Dobbs. Thank y'all so much for joining and hanging out with me. I know, again, this is a serious topic, but, you know, this is AJ's spin on it. Everyone has their own thoughts and opinions, but this is something that Sia and I started the conversation, Coach Sia, and I've been thinking about it. And that's something that I do often. I think through the coaching industry and what I see out here. And coaching is a fairly new industry, the last 20 or so years. That's why it's unregulated. It's unpoliced. There's no one that can make you get certified as a coach. There's no one that can take your certification away. And so that's why I talk about it in the Life Coach Revisited book. It's over at courses.thebossof.me. That's pinned in the comments. Put in the code BOSS2020. Get half off of this. This is the transcripts from a 3-hour training teaching you what life coaching is, what it is not, and introducing you to my company, the International Center for Life Coach Training, telling you my entire story of how I really became a master life coach trainer, and telling you what that means for you, why you should care. You don't see a lot of coaches doing that. Just saying. So, any other questions? Somebody put a question in the comments real quick. Just real quick. Think of something and put it in there and type fast for me. Any questions? All right, y'all. If I get quiet, I get sleepy. If I get sleepy, I end the live. Hey, I can't read Arabic script, but hey. Thank you for joining. Any questions? Coach hurt. If you flip that around, that's hurt coach. Think about it. Thank you. See ya. I'm going to hit you when I see you. I love it. So the most a client has paid me has been $14,000. $14,000. Great question. What else you got? What's the most you want a client to pay you? Let me flip it on you, coach. What you want to get paid? What's the most? I listened to a YouTube channel of a coach. She was saying she just she got rid of all of her low cost stuff. And now she only charges $10,000. I can't remember how long they work with her, but that's it. And she's like, I don't need that many clients, you know. A couple paying $10,000 and you good. 15. Okay. Outdo your coach. Greater than these things shall ye do also. I ain't Jesus or nothing, but I'm just quoting the Bible. So do it. You can absolutely do it. There is someone who will pay you to be their coach, help them get their breakthrough. 40-something savvy, and they will love how you do it. That's one thing I love about being a coach too, because just like my videos, I get inbox messages of people telling me what they got out of these videos, and it's something completely different than the next person. So that's one thing that will bring clients to you when you do things out of the norm, when you stand in who you are. People have called and hired me because I'm saved. So I have had past clients who are preachers' kids, first ladies, reverends, elders, ministers, couples ministries, all the people, doctors, reverends, elders, bishops, all the church folks. And people have also said, AJ, I like you because you're transparent. One guy after my last event, he said, this was not fluff. He said, surprisingly, because he didn't know what to expect coming to my event. And he said, you know, this was not like the other events I've been to. It wasn't fluff and then you sell me something. This was actual substance that I can use. There was meat to this. And my joke was, well, I'm vegetarian, but I'm glad you could feed your soul off of what I teach and share. So because I'm not out here just shooting hot air, I'm actually sharing what I know, what I've lived and experienced, what my clients share with me, what's coming for the life coaching industry. Books, I go back in the day. Like I have Oprah's book from the 1980s. Y'all trying to be Oprah today. I'm trying to find out how she got her start. So let's go to the beginning. Okay. So what other questions do you guys have? Thank you for your questions. See ya. $15,000. See ya. So, I got some events coming up too. I won't talk much about those. You just got to be a part of the tribe. You can start over at courses.thebossof.me. And when you get your hands on the Life Coach Revisited program, the remix, 156 pages, nicely bound by Paige at Office Max tonight. You'll be a part of my tribe. I'll have your email address and I can keep you posted with what's to come as a coach so that you can grow in your skills, knowledge and resources. And so you can start to stand apart. Because can you imagine? I've had a similar experience. I won't go into it tonight, but can you imagine the same coach who hurt you? You're now speaking on the same stage. Yeah. I'll leave that there. Just think about that for a minute. Any other questions, comments, talking points? I'm about to wrap this up. Any other questions, y'all? See, I'm going to have to go back and check my number too. That was the first one that popped into mind. I might have some more. I got to go look at that. You got me thinking now. I think it's one that's more than that. Yeah, I'm going to have to go do my calculations and give you a part B to that as well. All right, so I don't see any questions. Y'all just on here staring at me, seeing what I have to say. Hopefully you'll go back and watch the replay if you missed anything. Hey, Erica. Replay viewers, hey, y'all. If you think of any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. I'm happy to come back and chat and engage, answer those questions. If you have questions about my upcoming one-day life coach certification training, put it in the comments. Send me a message. Hey, Katie, I think I asked you what the APT in your name meant last time, but you never told me. So what does that APT in your name mean, Katie Little? Is that, I don't know. APT. Okay. Before I go, one last call for salvation. Any other questions? Again, the Life Coach Revisited book, it is 50% off tonight. It's over at courses.thebossof.me. Courses.thebossof.me. Write it down, take a screenshot, click it in the comments. If Facebook will let you click the link that I pinned. And yeah, feel free to send questions to my inbox as well. All right, y'all. Y'all are boring. So I'm looking at y'all. Look at me. So until we meet again, my friends, remember, there's someone somewhere. They are waiting on you to get over your coach hurt, walk in your destiny so they can walk into theirs. Because it's when you let your light shine, you give others permission to do the same. I am Master Life Coach Certification Trainer, Andrika J. Austin. I go by Coach AJ. I usually do late night lives. I was sleepy tonight, so y'all pray for me tomorrow. Y'all have a phenomenal day. Good night. Bye, friends.